Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Brought to you by Photography is an Art, Harvey Randman, Master Photographer, located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard in Burbank, California. Attorney Ron Irwin's book, Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart. Author Larry Buford's book To the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. State Farm agent Carla Green and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actors Space. Roll it, Tony.
Listen to me. My name is Madeline and your people are in danger.
I don't care who you are. You got something to do with this?
They're looking for me.
You stick with it. My name is Thaddeus. I'm in charge of these people. We're moving to safe zone 494.
You have 4 hours to move these people. Sure, over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today, who you just saw him on Reckoning, was born under the big sky in the great state of Montana. He'll tell you today how he got into acting and how he has worked nearly 40 films and a ton of theater work. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Will Dixon.
Hi, Ron. Pleasure to be here.
Welcome to The Actor's Choice, sir. So tell us, how did you get into acting?
Well, it's a long story. What do we got, 20 minutes?
Whatever.
I was actually in the football program at a place called Walla Walla Community College in Washington, Eastern Washington, and I was injured off field, and instead of going home back to Billings, Montana, I looked for any excuse to stay in school and to stay away. And a friend of mine was in a theater program there and was taking me to rehearsals just to sort of keep an eye on me because I was so depressed. And they pulled me up on stage, and here I am.
Wow. How did it feel the first time you were on stage or even a set? The first time?
I took to it like a duck to water. I swear to God, I was not nervous at all. I just come from sports background. I just it was like playing a game for me. So I got on stage and it really felt no different. It felt like I got the same excitement. I got the same adrenaline, and I was fearless back in those days. Now that's of course changed.
You got a whole bunch of movies out there. Let's start with one of them. Your first one back in 1994. It was your first IMDb film and television actor credit. It was called Raw Justice. Remember that guy?
I don't.
Okay.
It was a long run.
Long run, yeah. Okay. The next one was 1999. You had a movie called Charmed.
Yeah, that was the television program Charmed, actually. And I worked with Melissa Alano, who was wonderful, who was lovely. It was just great to be on a set of such a popular show with, sort of the in crowd at the time. It was a real experience, man, and got a chance to see what it was like to shoot a guest star on a real working television set. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience.
Then in 2003, you jumped into a soap opera. One of the very popular ones, Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, Days.
Remember that?
Days, yeah. No, I went into audition for Fran at the time, who's since passed away. And back in those days, they did what was called a general audition. And so you went in there, you auditioned, you did your piece, and then basically they just talked to you for a little bit to find out kind of a bit about who you were and what you were. We had a lovely meeting. And for the next few years, Fran would pull me in to do a spot here, to do a spot there, to do, something else. And I ended up getting quite a few credits out of Days. And that's your high school for actors. That's your training. Getting on a soap is your training, because there's no frills, there's no fireworks, it's the work. you get on, and everybody expects there to be this camaraderie with the director, and you come in and you speak to no. You go in there, the director may say hello, he'll point you to your mark, and the next thing you know, somebody's pointing clappers at you, and somebody's saying 3, 2, 1, and off you go. And you better be prepared. You better have it together, because it goes super fast. It goes super fast.
How many episodes?
But this is how you learn.
Yes, that's how you learn. How many episodes did you get a chance to do?
I ultimately ended up doing 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 or 7 episodes. Or 6 or 7 days, but like 3 separate episodes. So I did a couple of long shots, and then the last one I played a police chief, which was really fun. It was really fun. But my first day on the set was the most terrible day of my whole acting career. My first day on Days of Our Lives, because I'd gotten the wrong script. This is before any of this wonderful, computerized everything, all of this convenience that we have. This is when they used to messenger your scripts over to you, and they'd given me the wrong script. And I came into work, Monday morning, after having rehearsed and ground out the lines, and I got there and I just had the funniest feeling. And I stopped by the the stage manager's desk, and I said, "Hey, I know this is a weird question, but is this my script?" And the stage manager looked at me and said, "Oh no, that is not your script." And he reached underneath and he pulled out a brand new script. And he said, "You want this script?" And I started looking through it, and it was security guard, security guard, security guard, security guard. There were 11 pages of dialogue. And it was literally the actor's nightmare. I froze, my legs. I had ice water. When they say ice water rolls through your veins, I had ice water rolling through my veins. And at that moment, I literally heard my name on the intercom. Will Dixon, come to makeup. And I couldn't move. I wandered into makeup. I sat down in the chair. I was in such a panic. And I happened to be next to the gentleman that I would do the day with, that I would do the whole episode with. And he said, "Hey, my name is, you must be Will. We're going to be working together today." And I said, I just held the script out. I said, I can't. And he was like, "What's going on?" I said, "They just gave me this." And he was like, "Oh man." He goes, "They do that stuff all the time." He said, "But don't worry, we're going to get you through it." And he did. And he gave me some of the best advice I ever got as an actor, which was, as far as I know, they only shoot these things one scene at a time. So that's how we're going to do this. We're going to take one scene at a time. We're going to learn that scene, and then that's how we're going to finish the day. And he guided me through the day. He held the camera when we needed a little more time, which we didn't need a lot of, because we did, we're both professionals. Right. But he got me through that day, and I never forgot it. And I try to pay it forward as much as possible.
Okay. Fast forward 2016 to 2017, the show Scandal. And
yeah, man. Yeah, man, that was fun. That's some of the best fun I've had. It's an amazing set. Shondaland is a place where everyone should get a chance to work at least once in their career. The people, the set was so professional, but they were also so gracious and so giving. And knowing a few of the people on there, I actually had known Tony Goldwyn from a couple of different places. Tony had produced and directed a lot of stuff, commercials, so I'd seen him around. I had been introduced to a couple of the crew people, and Miss Carrie Washington, I worked with her that day. It was lovely and gracious and just superlative in her work and her work ethic. And that was the vibe for the whole show. Everybody was on it, but everybody was friendly and gracious and conscious. And it was, it's one of my favorite career experiences.
And you played the role of a reporter 3 times. A friend of mine, Jay Jackson. Did you know Jay Jackson?
No.
He was on the same time you were. He was a news anchor.
I may have run across him, but it's, these things, it's busy, and there's something going on over here and there's something going on over there. I may have run into him, but I didn't catch his name. But yeah, they kept bringing me back. They seemed to like me. I was hoping, but it was the last year, it was the last season. And So I'm hoping if Shonda's out there, I hope she owes me another season. It was that close. It was that close.
Wow. You're right now in the 2020 year, you're shooting a movie right now called 13 Fanboys. Is that correct?
We wrapped shooting just before Rona hit in New Mexico. Deborah Voorhees. It's a great little horror genre movie that's coming out. I hope, if everything goes well,
Yes.
sometime next year, at the beginning of next year. But it's a great concept. I got to work with my old teacher, D. Wallace Stone, which was amazing. I mean, everybody. Who would have thought 20 years after being in her class that we would run, and she didn't know I was coming. I knew she was going to be there, but she didn't know I was coming. And I just showed up on set one day, and there we were. I got to work with my old teacher, my old mentor, on, in this funny, fun little horror genre film that I think is going to do really, really well.
Super. Well, you have the letter V in your name because you are very versatile, my friend. Very versatile.
Thank you, Rob.
In our research, you did a whole lot of commercials, didn't you?
I did. I've done well in commercials.
Yes.
And, that's kept, this roof over my head and for a while. But the commercial world, I used to, as a younger actor, I used to dismiss the commercial world, and especially because back then all commercial casting was in the Valley, and I lived on the beach in Venice. And so getting to it was an all-day event. And they would call up and say, you have a 3:45 audition, it's in Burbank. And you just say, well, that's my day. And so I used to always arrive like a little upset, from traffic. I would arrive a little, and then they moved production all down here. It's all closer to me now. And I've moved up off the beach. And so all of a sudden it was maybe a 20-minute drive, and I started booking commercials. Who knew? But it's been very good, and it's very fun. It's lucrative, but it's also fun because I got to tell you, man, American television, movie, and commercial crews are the best in the world. They're just the best in the world. They get the job done, and it's a joy. And I've worked, as I've told you, I've worked tons of production as well. It's just a joy to watch really good crews work, and you'll never see it done faster and more efficiently than on a commercial shoot, because they've only got a few days. Instead of having a week to shoot or having months to shoot, they got a couple, 3 days, maybe 2 days to knock out. And there's tons of money. I mean, the pressure's huge because they're throwing tons of money at these things. So getting on a commercial set, it's another learning experience. And to watch these guys go and get it done.
Got you. We just happen to have one of your commercials. Roll it, Tony.
A man and his truck. A man and his truck and a broken fence. And a lost calf.
Hey, there's one of your commercials.
It's a gorgeous thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Definitely.
That was shot in my home state of Montana.
Get back.
No, they called me and said, after I booked the commercial, production will call you and say, give you your particulars. And I had travel orders. I didn't know where I was traveling. And they said, so your tickets to Bozeman will be on the such and such a date. And I said, Bozeman, Montana? And they're like, oh yeah. And I was like, okay. So they flew me back up to Bozeman, which I hadn't visited in many, many years. And we shot that thing out. That was an amazing shoot. But it was maybe the toughest shoot I've ever been on. It was really physical. As you saw, there was a lot of water coming out of water machines in the air. I had to carry a cow, a lot of carrying of a cow. And I'm super proud of that commercial. It's a gorgeous thing. I ran into that director again this last year and had to stop and thank him and tell him what a gorgeous thing it was, that it's on my reel. And everybody want to be a cowboy.
I want to be a cowboy. You also have gone on that stage. You are one who has done many roles. One role you did in 2017, Macbeth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was the summer. I tell people it was like summer camp for grown-ups. It was I was as happy probably as I've ever been in my life. All I had to do was learn my lines, hop on a subway, travel down to Battery Park from Washington Heights, travel down to Battery Park and do my thing and do my show, man. New York Classical Theater is an amazing thing. If you get a chance when you're in New York, it's one of the few free theater venues you're going to find left where they actually pay all their actors and they pay all their crew. And it's outdoors. We run it in several venues. Over the course of the evening, I think they estimated I ran 4.5 miles or something during the evening because we rotate between sets. The sets are set up in different parts of the park. We did it in Battery Park, and we did it in Brooklyn Bridge, just below the Brooklyn Bridge as well. And it's an experience. I lost 25 pounds doing it. But how often do you get to go out and play, and play with swords all day? We had a huge fight scenes. I mean, it's the real deal. And like I said, it was the happiest I'd been in my whole career.
Got you. 2 years later, The Judas Kiss.
Yeah.
You did
That's
that?
right back here at home. Mike Machete, Rob Nagel playing Oscar Wilde. It's a gorgeous play, number one, but the experience, I'd always wanted to work with Jessica Kobzanski at Boston Court. I finally got my chance. We'd been threatening to work together for 20 years, and they finally hired me to come up there and work. And again, it was just an amazing experience, close in LA theater, the way it's done, and it's outstanding acting, outstanding work by Mr. Nagel, outstanding work by our production crew and by our director. And again, it was the premier experience.
You also are a writer, a director. You took on one called Trailer Talk.
Trailer Talk, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, these are all, Ron, these are all vanity projects.
Yes.
I got a chance to once again to work with my friends, Mr. Ron Canada, Mr. Gordon Clapp, Mr. James Parks. I had a lot of, because I'd worked so much production over the years, I had a lot of chits built up. I had a lot of favors. And so I started calling around and calling in people, and we got our package from Wood and Nickel for basically a nickel. We got set design from people that I knew. We got the script supervisor and the editor from Gordon's show at the Times. I just about said Hill Street Blues, but anyway, we got our trailers from the just passed Star Wagons master, Mr. Wagoner, for basically the price of one trailer. We got that trailer, we got a green room trailer, we got the lot to work on, because at the time we didn't know where we were going to park that thing to use it. All I knew was I was going to get a trailer. It was going to be inside the trailer. We got all that from Lyle Wagner for the price of one, and we shot that thing out, and we won Best in Show at the Williamstown Film Festival. We got an honorable mention at the show. We didn't expect any of this. We just were doing it for fun.
Yeah. Sure.
We had fun.
Yes. It's a lot of fun. Guess what? We just happened to have a small cut. Tony, roll it.
Awesome.
There's a good deal of wit and humor in Will Dixon's script. A lot of it topical humor, industry jokes, poking fun at spoiled actors and that kind of thing. But I think a lot of the comedy just comes from the passion and abandon with which
Okay, you're back, Ron.
All right. You're a busy man. You're also, you ready for this, folks?
Yeah.
He is a set decorator. Decorator? Did I say that right?
Now you're messing with me. Yeah, no, I was a set junkie for a long time, man. I just took any production job, any job on a movie set or a television set or a commercial set that I could get.
Yes.
I grabbed because I just wanted to. Number one, it paid a lot of bills, and number two, I just loved being on set. I wanted to learn as much as I could, so I picked something up from just about every department on a set. And in 2015 or 16, a friend of mine was calling around looking for a set decorator for his show, 12-Sided Die, that he was putting together, a series of 12-Sided Die. And I looked around and I called and nobody was available. And finally I just said, I'll do it. And I did. And IMDb grabbed that credit. I've been, Ron, I've directed 3 short features, one pilot,
Yes.
and I can't get a directing credit from IMDb, but I set decorate one set. And I'm a set decorator. It's my second credit on IMDb. I am now Will Dixon, actor, set decorator, writer. So I'll take it.
You got a friend of yours looking at the show today. Her name is Eva Marie Frederick.
Eva.
There she is.
She is the gorgeous thing. Yeah, no, we shot a little film together. She was terrific. She was wonderful. And it was a cool little concept, little student film. What a wonderful actress, lovely lady.
Yes, indeed. You, to what you do, perhaps you could share with us your secret to success. What is that?
Having absolutely no success at all.
I like that.
Because it makes you keep trying. I told Ron, and I want to share this because coming into this thing, I said, Ron, if you want to know how to not have a career in Hollywood but have a lot of fun and a great life, I'm your guy. And that's basically what I've done. I'm still crafting a career. I'm still crafting my success, so to speak. And I think maybe all of this just keeps me trying, just keeps me wanting it.
Well, you make it look so easy. Get up there, you do your thing, bang, bang, shoot them up, whatever the case may be. You do what you want to be. How about you being a director of a film? Is that something you ever want to do?
I love it. I actually had a great time directing, and because I have the power, Ron.
Yes.
It does. It gives you a lot of control over the medium, and especially if you've been an actor for as long as I have, and you find out how little control you actually have, especially as I described on a soap set or on a television set.
Gotcha.
As a guest star, and having that control, and especially when you're doing, I had a good time directing other pieces, but especially when you're doing something that you've written, something that you love, and something that sort of intrinsically in your head, how to make happen. It's an amazing experience to see it come to life, sort of under your hand, and if you have the right actors, which I did, and the right sort of mentality, which everybody did, it's a really good experience. Had a really good time.
We only got a minute or two. Got you. We only got a minute or two, but there was a role that you took. We can't let you get out of here without talking about it. Othello.
Yes. I haven't gotten it yet, but I did write up a review. Some friends of mine are going to produce Othello next year.
Yes.
It's in the pantheon as you work your way forward from a young actor to an older actor in Shakespeare. Yes. He gives you a line, he gives you a path, a road to follow. Othello is next on my list of things to accomplish, and some friends of mine are going to put it on next year in New York. I hope to be a part of it. I'll let you know, Ron, if they hire me.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
and we'll get you back. We'll get you back home to Harlem and down to Battery Park to watch it.
I'd love that. I miss New York. My friend, it was a pleasure talking to you today. I got to get you back again, definitely.
Anytime.
Will Dixon, God bless you. Keep on.
God bless you, brother.
Thank you. This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. The studio of Harvey Brandman Photography as an Art is proud to offer you a $100 discount off any photo package valued at $300 or more. Now, Harvey's been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century, and he certainly knows how to take care of his customers. So please give him a call today at 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. You'll be glad you did. And by the way, please tell Harvey that you heard about his offer right here on The Actor's Choice. Haiku style, passion, heart. It's the latest release from author and attorney Ron Irwin. Now, the book was inspired by the author's first exposure to haiku well over a half-century ago. This experience produced within him a deep passion to experience Asia, which he later did as a U.S. Marine. The book is available in paperback at lulu.com. Irwin says he'll give 20% of net book sales split evenly between the veterans of foreign wars and Vietnam veterans of America. Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. It's a book by author Larry Buford. It's a historical and faith-based account of how what we do and follow today will affect us tomorrow. The author also calls it an adventure for those who want to travel back through time. The book is now available in paperback for only $17.95 from Amazon. So please get your copy today. And now, a word from State Farm agent Carla Green. Roll it.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because the State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Let me help you with that. Give me a call. State Farm agent Carla Green, 213-239-9675. I look forward to speaking with you.
Thank you, Carla. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. For more information, call 213-239-9675. That's 213-239-9675. And last but not least, if you're having a product, a service, or an upcoming event that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please call us at 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Our prices are affordable, and we thank you. This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it.
Hello, it's Dr. Vernon Malloy, and today we're going to talk about a delusional behavior category known as projection. So happens our current president displays this behavior in spades. While he consistently shows disinterest in ever telling the truth, he calls any report of his verified lying fake, as in fake news. This is textbook delusional projection. The faker calling the facts fake? The fuck.
My next guest today is the founding member and director of the legendary improvisational comedy group called Off the Wall, which has been performing here in Los Angeles since 1975. He has performed on stage with such names as Robin Williams, John Ritter, Gary Shandling, Fred Willard, Chevy Chase, Bonnie Hunt, Betty Thomas, and the list goes on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andy Goldberg. Hello, Andy. I see you got Barney.
Ron, how are you?
I'm fine. I had a picture of Barney there holding that little dog. She looks good. How's she doing?
He's good.
Uh-huh. All right. Give him my best, please.
Here he is.
There he is. All right. Glad to get it. Welcome to the Actor's Choice, sir.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Oh my God, your bio is so impressive. So you came to Hollywood to be an actor.
What happened?
It happened?
No, I say what happened.
What happened? What did you do?
Maybe I've got ADD. I came to be an actor and ended up doing several other things, including acting.
Okay.
But I got caught up in the art of improvisational comedy.
Wow.
And I joined a group called Off the Wall in 1975. And we're still performing.
Gotcha. Interesting name. I've seen that name somewhere before besides what you did. Didn't Michael Jackson have a movie called Off the Wall? Yes.
Yeah, he had an album, and there's a number of things called Off the Wall, but...
Yes. But Andy, what is so unique about comedy improv? What's unique, special about it? It got you into it. It's in your blood. What is it?
The spontaneity, I guess, the being in the moment, the having something come to your mind, saying it, and having an audience respond, to me is very exciting, and it's something I really enjoy. So I think it's an ultimate form of acting in that you are forced to be in the moment. Mm-hmm. When you memorize lines, you have to kind of create a situation where you are in the moment, but you've already memorized the lines. The lines are coming to you as you're saying them. You can't help but be in the moment.
Excellent, excellent. Now you start Off the Wall started in 1975, but in 1977, here you came to Hollywood to do this, The Goodbye Girl.
Yeah, I was already in. I got here in the end of '74.
Okay.
But 1977, I got cast in The Goodbye Girl. Right.
That was your first IMDb film and TV actor credit.
Yeah. It's how I joined the union.
Got you. Here's another picture we got. You and another fellow by the name of Robin Williams. Tony, could you show that picture?
Yes. That was around 1978, I guess. Robin had just come down from San Francisco. He was living in his car. His friend Susan Elliott was a member of Off the Wall at the time. And we had a workshop on Thursday nights that was taught by Devere Marcus, who created and started Off the Wall. Robin came in to the class, blew us all away, just did, I don't know, a myriad of characters. And Dee said, hey, would you like to be in the show tomorrow night? We did a show on Friday and Saturday nights, and he said, sure, and joined our show and was with us for about 1.5 years after that.
I used to go on a lot of junkets, as you know what they are. And
yeah,
I had an opportunity twice in my life to meet him. And when you see him, as you know, Robin Williams, when you saw him, he didn't have to say nothing. You just look at him and you fall out laughing. I mean, he was quite a man.
He was, quite a bit. And interesting to perform with.
Oh, okay. Tell us about it.
It was not easy to upstage Robin, let's put it that way.
But who'd want to try?
Right. Just go along for the ride.
Indeed. Here's another picture of you doing it at the Improv.
Ah, yes, the other brothers. That's David Ruprecht, who later on done a lot of things in his life, but probably the best known for the host of Supermarket Sweeps.
Okay.
And we used to do, it was a takeoff on the Smothers Brothers. We called it the Other Brothers, and we'd get a suggestion from the audience and make up a song as we went along.
Got you. Here's another one we want to show you. This one has got a good crew in it. Look at that.
Wow, yes.
I did a little research. It's fabulous what you guys and girls put together. That was something.
Yeah, that's Gary Shandling.
Yeah.
And David Ruprecht behind him. The guy down, the woman in the middle, down at the bottom is Devere Marcus, the woman who started it all. She started Off the Wall. And directly to, if you're facing the picture, to her right is Chris Thompson, who unfortunately has passed away, but he created Bosom Buddies.
I see.
Along with a number of other things.
Okay.
I mean, everybody in that picture is extremely talented and went on to do great things.
Yes. I read about the organization. In 1978, you started your own late-night TV pilot show called Off the Wall, starring John Ritter. We talked about that. But in 1980, Off the Wall was invited to the resident company of the improvisation in Hollywood. Can you talk about that, sir?
I think I actually went in there and pitched us and said, hey, it's called the improvisation, but you don't do any improvisation here. You only do stand-up. Maybe you should do some improvisation. So they said, okay. And they put us in there on Monday nights. They wanted to put in a couple of other improv groups. And we said, no, we'll do the whole night. So we did the 3-hour show every Monday night for 14 years.
Wow. What is the status of the Improv right now? The club?
Well, we were performing once a month. at a place called the Fanatic Salon in Culver City.
Right.
We had done that for about 3 years, and then the coronavirus came around, and so we're not nobody's performing on stage anymore. But we're anxious to get back.
Yes, I like those two words, get back, because a lot of us, we miss you. We need you. You're like a food. We gotta have you. Gotta have you. Indeed.
And and it's like a drug for us. We enjoy doing it. So.
Got you. In 2011, you were in a movie with a young lady named Eva Marie Frederick.
Yes.
Oh, Shorty and Morty.
Shorty and Morty. Yeah, Eva Marie, very talented, wrote the movie, starred in it, and was kind enough to give me a role of a homeless man.
She's watching today, so please say hi to her. She's looking at you today.
Hi, Eva Marie. Thanks. I'm here because of her. She recommended me to you, Ron.
Oh, yes, she did. She did. And we thank her and you very, very much for that. We have seen over the years generations of improv. Can you take a look at this picture and look at who's there now? Different generations.
Oh, okay. Well, so I've been performing with Off the Wall for over 40 years.
Yes.
And I thought, maybe it's time to start a younger improv group. And so I put together a group, and they chose the name Mostly Organic. And so that's the combination of both groups. And we call the show Generations of Improv because people range in age from their 20s to their 70s, maybe. So we have, pretty much somebody from every generation.
Wow. We just happen to have a video that I think a lot of folks want to see. Roll it, Tony. Goes back, give you some memories. Those are the people you worked with. You've been a busy guy. You put out a thing called Improv Comedy. Can you show that, Tony? It's a book you did.
I've got one if he doesn't.
There it is. Hey, thank you. There it is. Thank you. Tell us about that book, please, sir.
Well, I thought, if there's one thing I know something about, it's improv. And so I thought I'd write a book on it. I didn't, at the time, I don't know that there was one except for Viola Spolin's groundbreaking book about improv for the theater, which she wrote primarily for games and exercises for children to do. But it became a performing art. And I didn't know that there was a book written about performing improvisational comedy. So I decided to write one. And Gary Shanley was nice enough to give me a quote for the cover, and John Ritter wrote the foreword. And then I did a 20th anniversary edition in 2012. And Brian Cranston, who was a student of mine for a while, was nice enough to give me a nice interview about improvisation and acting, which is included in the book.
Jim, I understand Samuel French was involved in some of this work that you did?
Samuel French published the original book. I went into their office just cold and said, hey, I got this book idea. And they gave me a small advance, but they gave me an advance and I wrote the book. And then they published it for years until they went out of the book publishing business. They still publish plays and have for well over 100 years, but they stopped publishing books. They only did that for maybe 10 years, I guess. So when it came to do the 20th anniversary edition, I just self-published it.
Andy, would you give advice to someone would love to get into improvisation but hasn't quite made their mind up yet? What advice would you give them?
Well, I've had everybody from dentists to writers, actors, directors. Everybody seems to benefit from improvisation. I went to buy gas one time, and some guy in a car gets out of the car and comes over to me, and he goes, "You probably don't remember me, but I took your improv class 10 years ago or whatever. And I just wanted to thank you because my personal and social life have improved since I took it." So I guess it's not just for actors. I mean, it certainly helps with acting and directing. And there's so many movies and television shows that are filmed today that allow the actors to improvise. Curb Your Enthusiasm. I was on an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and it's all improvised. They tell you what the scene will be about, but then you just improvise it, and maybe you do it 2 or 3 times. They pick the one they like. So I just think it's good for everybody. The main focus of improvisation is yes and, where you accept the information that was given to you and you add on to it. And okay, I'll admit it. I wish I practiced more yes and in my personal life, but I think it's a good credo.
You've been a teacher for 35 years.
Yeah. I always say about improv, I'm going to keep doing it till I get it right. So
Go ahead.
It's been quite a while.
And you used to teach over at UCLA Extension?
I did. Yeah. For a couple of years over there. I had a friend, Deborah Madgett, who was running the program over there, and she invited me to teach for a while. That was interesting because I had all kinds of people. They were mostly not actors.
Made it great. Yeah. Great. Got just a few more minutes. You did a 10-minute play in 2019 called For Jeffrey. Tell us about that, please, sir.
Yes, 10-minute play festivals have really flourished around in the past few years. And I have a good friend, Ken Levine, who's a very successful writer. He was writing these 10-minute plays and getting him in all these festivals. And I thought, well, maybe I'll try one. And I was talking to a friend on the phone, and he mentioned something. His name is Jeffrey. And I thought, oh, that would make a good idea for a play. And I wrote it. I called it For Jeffrey. I give away the plot if I tell you what it means for Jeffrey. But anyway, won the play festival. So I thought that was great. Very exciting.
Excellent. You've done a great contribution to the industry. Before we leave, there's another one that you did, apocalyptic pandemic.
Oh, yes. Jason Weiss, who directed For Jeffrey, when the pandemic started, decided to do plays online. And he called it the No Pants Theater Company because, none of us are wearing pants, right? When you're sitting here like this, you don't have pants on, do you, Ron?
I won't tell.
So anyway, he started it off with short plays and just randomly put 4 or 5 people together who volunteered, and I volunteered. And so we wrote this short play about gamers, something about which I know nothing, but worked on it and had help with the other cast members to write it. And we were picked, I guess, they picked 6 out of 100 or something, and we were the top 6, and so they did them again.
Got you. Speaking of dealing with COVID-19, the lockdown, just happened to have one called OTW Couple Zoom. Roll it.
Hello again, it's your roving reporter, Tom Bien. They say all who love are blind. Well, not only are they blind now, they're in lockdown. But let's see how they're doing. How are couples doing in relationships? Hello, Bob and Kathy Walsh, are you there? Is it Kathy?
No, it's khaki.
Okay.
Actually,
Hello?
he calls me khaki pants.
Sometimes khaki panties, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Very good. And Khaki, what do you call him?
I call him Button.
Okay. How are you guys getting along?
Well, this has been just amazing. We've never been together for this long in 42 years. Bob is usually on the road.
I love it. I love it. That was beautiful. It goes to show you that, hey, yeah, we got a little problem right now in Hollywood, but we ain't going to let nothing stop us. Great to see all that good work. We just got time for a couple more questions.
Okay.
What's the biggest challenge that you've ever had in your career?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. You know, show business itself is quite a challenge.
Yes.
You know, I came out of here to be an actor, and I was told when I was younger that I would grow into my type. I think people said I had a young face and old hair. I've always had old hair. I did color it for a while, but I'm still waiting to grow into my type.
Yes.
So I guess it's, you know, I mean, I've done some things and had a very fun life, but never really made it to the big time when it comes to acting. So I guess that's the biggest challenge.
Got you. What's on the tap for you right now? Any new projects you're working on right now you can tell us about?
Oh, well, I'm working on a couple more 10-minute plays, you know, in hopes that eventually we'll be back in the theater. And I'm still teaching my improvisational comedy class on Zoom once a week, and it's as crowded as ever. And my group Off the Wall, you showed a clip with, of course, that was George Wendt and his wife, Bernadette Burkett. The second half of that video is me and Wendy Cutler. And of course, the host was Tom Tully. So we're still filming those. We've done a number of those. You know, like everybody else, trying to be creative in your home.
Yes. Is there a website or any other way that people can get in touch with you?
Well, there's Andy Goldberg's Improv Comedy Workshops on Facebook, and I'm on Facebook under Andy Goldberg, and then I have a website called andygoldbergcomedy.com. Is it .com or .net? I think it's .com. And you know, or just, you know, ring the doorbell and I'll come out in the driveway.
Okay. A final question. And that is, how do you want to be remembered?
As a guest on the Ron Brewington show. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right?
Thank you. Appreciate that plug. Thank you. Andy, we want to thank you very much for taking some time out to come and join us. Again, we want to thank a lot of people, and I'll make sure you get a copy of the show. But thank you very, very much for what you've done.
My pleasure. Thank you, Ron. Thanks for having me.
See you sometime again.
I hope so.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thanks to our sponsors. Harvey Brandman Photography is an art. Ron Irwin's haiku, style, passion, heart. Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actor Space. Much thanks to our guests today, actor Will Dixon and improv master Andy Goldberg. And of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. We'll see you next time.